All right, so what you're looking at on screen right now is a CRO split test that we ran for one of our clients here inside of Meta. And as you can see on screen here, we're looking at one ad over here that spent around $3,400 at a 1.6x return on ad spend and around an $82 CPA. And then underneath, we're looking at an ad that spent around $2,700 at a 3.07x return on ad spend and a $46 CPA. And the craziest part about this report right here over the last 7 days is that these ads are actually the exact same ads. We did not touch the ads at all. We also didn't do anything with the audiences. The audiences are just fully broad audiences. And we also didn't click that magical button that so many people like to think will automatically improve their Facebook ads performance. What we did is we made one specific conversion rate optimization change. And in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what we did to ultimately increase our conversion rate from this control ad of 3.73% to over 7.85%, and also add over $9 to our average order value, going from $134 per order to $143. So if you want to see exactly what we did on the back end to more than double the conversion rate and add close to $10 per order, then make sure you stick around to the end of this video to see our entire process all the way through, so that way you can take this strategy, apply it to your business, and start seeing these kinds of results in your ad account. All right, so now the first thing that we need to do is we need to look at the control page, okay? And what I see a lot of brands doing right now is essentially just sending all of their traffic either to a standard product page or a standard homepage. And in this instance, it was doing okay for this client. With that said, we were able to come in and actually double the conversion rate with our page. So obviously it could have been doing a little bit better. And so one of the main things that we noticed as we were scrolling through the client's homepage and looking for a way to improve our funnel, we realized that this page specifically was talking more about the flavor and how the soups are gourmet. And there are some things in here that are really good, but at the end of the day, this is more of a generic homepage, which it honestly has to be a little bit more generic because it's a homepage and it's selling a lot of different things, right? And so what we were looking at here is how can we make our actual landing page a little bit more congruent with our ads? And as we were looking at this, we realized that for some of our ads, there was definitely a huge opportunity to do so. And so as we went and analyzed some of our top performing ads, which is what you 100% need to do before you go and build any new kind of page, we went through and we noticed that one specific type of messaging was working extremely well for this client in particular, and it happened to be around something to do with your gut health. And so again, just super quickly, this is why it's so important to actually make sure you have feedback loops to review your ads and actually check to see what is kind of working or what is getting spend in your ad account. So that way you can see what Facebook is basically pushing out to people, and that will help you then know what you need to optimize. For this client in particular, we looked at basically their number 3 performing ad, and we realized that again, it was focused on gut health, but when someone lands on this page, there's nothing really to do with gut health, right? So it doesn't really sell me much further on how this ad that just brought me in around gut health and how it's going to help my stomach and digestive issues actually convert me, because there's not really any messaging on this page that talks about it. Just jumping in super quick to say, if you are enjoying this video, but you want even more access to our CRO playbook and all of our systems and softwares and tech stacks, make sure that you click the first link in the description down below to see exactly where you can get all of that. But for now, let's go ahead and get back to the video. With that said, not every single customer is actually interested in that though, because we do have some other ads that are doing well just going to the homepage, but that's because they're a little bit more tailored to the actual taste, that the soup is really good to eat. So what we realized is that we needed to create some kind of funnel that is actually more aligned with what we're talking about in our ads with those gut health and stomach digestive claims, which then brings me to the actual landing page that we built for this client in particular. And now you might be looking at this page being like, what is this? This looks hideous. Like, you're telling me this doubled the conversion rate? And this is where I just want to stop and break any beliefs that you might have that design is the end all be all for landing pages, because I used to have that same belief as well. But just because a page looks good does not mean a page is going to convert good. Now, hopefully that just saves me from anybody roasting how ugly this page is, but I'll tell you what, this page, though it might be a little bit ugly, is absolutely crushing. And so as we jump back into the screen, what I'm going to do is actually flip this down into mobile, which I think is so important for people to understand that this is how like 95% of people who click your ads are going to experience your landing pages. And so it is so important that you have things very dialed in on mobile to ensure that you have an optimal customer journey. Now, the number one most obvious difference with this page to the homepage is that the headline and everything else around this goes directly to digestive issues. As you can see, if I was to land on this page right now, obviously I'm coming from an ad that was talking about soups. There's nothing here that actually shows the product. There's nothing here that is talking about its taste. All that this first page says is frustrated with doctors and digestive issues. I was too. And now what's incredible about this client in particular is that she has an incredible story about why she actually started the brand in the first place. And this is something that I think if you are a founder that is driven by purpose and you started a brand for a specific reason, you need to relate with your audience and level with them on why you created the product in the first place and how it solved your specific problems. I see so many founders with incredible stories and incredible reasonings for why they actually made their product in the first place, yet nobody really communicates it. Or if they do it in a way where it's all about them and they're like, look at me, I'm this person, yeah. But the thing is nobody knows you and nobody cares about you yet. So what you actually need to do is you need to relate with people with your story so that way they can feel like you understand them, ultimately leading to better conversions. As you can imagine, if you're someone that clicked an ad that was talking about gut health and stomach issues and digestive issues, and then you land on a page that says frustrated with doctors and digestive issues, I was too, you can imagine that you're going to be pretty hooked in. And one of the most important things here is if you're looking at this and you don't have gut health issues or you don't have digestive issues, you might be wondering like, why am I saying with doctors? Like, what does frustrated with doctors have to do with digestive issues? Well, through our research, which is one of the most important things, that if you are not doing massive amounts of research before you actually construct pages and build customer journeys for your specific customer, you are just setting yourself up to failure. So the number one reason why this page is actually working so well is because we understand our customer. And that's exactly what I'm going to dive into as we get through the rest of the page. But this top headline here is so targeted and so specific to people that have digestive issues, because through research, it was very, very clear that sometimes a lot of doctors, they just don't know the answer on how to fix your issues. And it's the number one most common thing that I see people talking about is like, doctor can't fix it, or like went to the doctor, nothing changed, or I got prescribed this, or I tried this and nothing ended up working. And so when we then start our headline off of something that is relatable to the specific person that is dealing with this issue, it's automatically going to build more trust in that user and hook them in to learn and read more. Now, as we go through this story was scripted in a way that it took kind of Alona, who is the client down here, which we absolutely love working with. Now, as for the story itself, this is a full true story. And what I want you to please not do is, if you don't have a founder story, please do not make up some load of crap. Like, be authentic. Don't be a terrible person. You should only be doing this style of page if you actually have a founder story, or if you created your product for a specific reason and it happened to solve your problem as well. If you do not have a fancy founder story and you just started the business to make money, which in full transparency, that is okay. But what you need to do is you need to be authentic to you. So if you want to stick around to the end of this video, I'll show you an example of another hero section that can also do extremely well for you. With that said, if we go deeper into the story, you'll realize that again, we're relating with the audience, but we are also sharing what Alona learned and what she had been through. And as you can see, boldly stating that's why I started 18 Chestnuts, and essentially explaining what this product does and why it's incredible. And then as you can see here, we have a subtle little discount code to attract new customers. And again, when it comes to building offers, that is something that is so crucial. And when you're actually building offers the right way, you're going to be able to hook in an audience and actually have a strong LTV with them. And so this is something that for this client in particular made a ton of sense because she has a product that people can buy over and over and over again, that being soup. Now, one thing I want to call out is that this CTA right here actually has a custom URL that automatically applies this 15% off, which is an amazing way to also track all of the orders that are coming from this page because this page specifically just has this discount code. And again, this is a first-time customer offer that is a great way to get someone to try the product and then ultimately come back for more. Now, as you can see here, as we scroll through the page, there's another headline that I want to stop on that again is just so relatable to this specific type of customer. And that is one of the biggest reasons why this page does so well is because it is extremely relatable and it almost feels like we're saying the things that, someone in their head might be telling themselves. So for example, with this type of customer that has digestive issues, whenever they eat something, they're constantly worried about this stuff. And so when you come out and claim that this is the one food you can enjoy worry-free, it actually, again, is going to build more relatability. Like, okay, well, yeah, I'm always worried when I eat, so I guess this is a meal to help me, right? Functionally formulated and made to support different nutritional diets or needs. As you can see, again, we're diving deeper and then we showcase all of the products here very clearly. And this is what I'm talking about, where this page is a little bit ugly, but I love it, right? What I wanted to do is I wanted to prove a point that it is not about the design. It's simply about understanding your customer. Now, with that said, you definitely do need someone that understands copywriting and has some kind of baseline graphic design in order to do this. But the most important thing is your ability to understand the customer and what they want to hear. Now, if we dive deeper into this, you'll notice there's some subtle CTAs here where we're telling them to build their box of soups. But this is the section that I want to get into that, again, just really is going to resonate with our audience because we're calling out right up top what really makes this the go-to meal for sensitive stomachs. And again, this was something that I pulled from doing research. And this was something that I saw. I was like, wow, this is a perfect way to say this. I saw something around like this person claiming that their go-to meal for their sensitive stomach issues is this soup. And I was like, well, there we go. That's the headline that I'm going to use. And as you can scroll down, you can see, boom, we have real food as the first call out. As you can see here, as we explain this a little bit further, we're tapping a little bit more into our audience. And so while doing research, we also noticed that our demographic was slightly older. So when we're starting things off of as we age, our natural cycles slow down, well, that is something that is going to resonate with that person and feel like this product is specifically calling out to them. And then what I want to call out here and what I want to emphasize that this landing page does so well is that it actually calls the imagery and the content is actually working together, right? I'm saying real food and then I'm literally showing a video of them taking real food, cutting it up and blending it into the actual product that this client solves. And it also has the founder in it as well to show that this just wasn't some kind of B-roll. This is actually their product and their soup being made. Now, if we scroll a little bit further, you'll notice that we have something here that says high in fiber. And again, this is one of their soups that is actually high in fiber. And something that is important to call out is I actually pulled a photo that had some ginger in it because a lot of people that have gut health and digestive issues know that ginger is something that can help with that. And so what do? Again, we take the time to understand our customer and then we bring that to life with our content and with our call out. And as we scroll down further, you'll notice we have one talking about gluten-free. Again, gluten-free is something that people who have IBS, which is another stomach and digestive issue, cannot have gluten. And so when we call that out, it is again building relatability with that specific type of person or just anybody that has, gluten sensitivities, and that leads to their digestive issues. And again, as we scroll further, you'll notice that we call out that there's 0 added sugar. And again, the imagery here is really playing a part because we're showing apples to be like, hey, it's not that they don't have no sugar. It's the fact that we're using natural sugars. So there's no actual added sugar to this, which again is something that is known to cause digestive issues. And then the final two sections we have here, number one is the vegan and protein packed. Again, a lot of people that have digestive issues don't eat a lot of meat or they struggle to get protein. And so when you can have something that is nice and gentle on your stomach, but also packed with protein, that is incredibly valuable to this type of person. And then on top of that, down here, the next section is ready to eat and never frozen. And what we notice is one of our top competitors actually sells their soups frozen. And so again, as we go through our understanding and we flash through all of the actual different types of soups, it is very important that you understand when building a page like this, it is not anything special. And so what I want you to notice while I'm going through the sections is there's no crazy design, there's no crazy structure. This is a very standard structure, but the difference is the content, what we're saying and the way that we're saying it, and then the way that we're showing it as well is super, super important. Now, as for the rest of the page, as you'll notice down here, we have a section that actually shows the ingredient list. And again, you have to think through the mind of a customer. Someone that is going to be purchasing food that has stomach digestive issues and is sensitive to this kind of stuff needs to read the ingredients, because they probably know specific ingredients that they cannot have. And so if we show the nutrition labels of our soups and they're like, oh wow, those are all great ingredients, do you know what that's going to do? That's going to influence them to buy more, which is ultimately going to increase your conversion rate. And then one of the most important things that I want to call out here, so if you stick all the way to this point, then you're going to get some gold here, is to make sure that the reviews that you show are actually well thought out. Again, make sure they're real. Make sure you're sifting through your reviews to find the ones that are so good it's like they cannot be faked, and it's also leading to what our ideal customer wants. And so this first review is something that I love, and you'll notice that we bolded out specific areas here that really call out to what we want the user to focus on for people that are just skimming. But this review right here says, thanks to my lovely wife. And this guy is actually a chef who makes his own soup, but this soup is so great for those chilly nights. And as you can tell, they're going in and basically saying like, I make my own soups, but I still prefer to have this one instead. And then on top of that, we're tapping into the desire of this person saying that his wife is incredible, like she's a lovely wife. And what we know about our audience for this client in particular is that it is a lot of older women purchasing our products. And so not only does this help with their digestive and stomach issues, and not only does it taste great, this is also going to help them become a great wife, because they can have easy meals to make that taste amazing, and their whole family is going to be thrilled to actually eat them. And now that's diving as deep as you can go from, selling a soup to the desire of being a great spouse or like a great wife, right? That is pretty incredible to be able to make that connection. And again, we're not making that connection. Well, we're kind of helping make the connection. Our customers are saying it for us, which makes it that much more believable. And then the few other reviews I want to call out down here is somebody saying that it is celiac safe. Rather give my money to better food. This is incredible because this person is literally emphasizing the exact point that we had up top, where she says, I'd rather give my money to better food than doctors. I mean, that is so incredible when we're talking about, again, these people that are paying so much money to doctors and specialists, but they're not really helping, yet this simple soup is helping them get through their problems. Another one of my favorite reviews here is, again, somebody that said, when I first saw the ad on Facebook, I knew I'd have to try some. Again, talk about incredible ways to build trust and relatability when someone's literally coming from a Facebook ad, or rather, all of the traffic landing on this page is coming from a Facebook ad. So reading a review that says, hey, I saw a Facebook ad and knew I had to try it, well, there you go. You're probably going to be a lot less skeptical seeing that somebody else has bought it from an ad. And now if we scroll down to the final section here, you can see that we just have some very simple offers where people can go and build their own box, and we talk about what we guarantee, and then there's just a final CTA down here. But the main thing here is I want to take a step back. Now that you've read this page and you now go back and look at this page, think about that difference as a user, right? You might not even wanted this product in particular, or maybe for whatever reason you have gut issues and you're watching this video. Think about how different that page experience is compared to this one that is just generic and general, talking about the soup and just very basic things. It is literally a night and day difference. And again, think about the journey of someone clicking an ad focused around gut issues and then landing on this page here that above the fold, again, super important. Make sure you go to mobile and look at this. There is absolutely nothing here that says gut health or this helps with my digestive issues. What we're asking people to do is hopefully make the connection that the fact that it's packed with fiber and is gluten-free, that it will ultimately help you with your digestive issues. Whereas on this page, you land on it and you know exactly where you are right away, and there is no question that this product is going to help with your gut and digestive issues. And that is the exact reason why this page was able to double the conversion rate and ultimately allow us to scale a lot further. Now, when it comes to the actual testing side of things, this is probably the most important important piece of this and is honestly the number one reason why I prefer so much more doing CRO and conversion rate optimization this way compared to the standard A/B test way when you have to wait weeks to actually get results back from your split test and you have to let it hit statistically significant data. When it comes to how we split test pages now, we just simply plug it straight into Facebook, and as you can see by looking at this report, the stats were obvious. We could see the conversion rate and average order value, which are just custom columns that we simply create. Again, this is simply purchases divided by landing page views, and this is purchase conversion value divided by purchases, but we didn't have to wait for statistical significance in some kind of A/B testing tool, and we didn't have to wait 2 weeks or a month. As you can see, over the last 7 days, we started scaling this ad and we already were able to add $8,000 in additional conversion value way more profitably just by plugging our landing page into an ad that was already in our account. And so when we test things this way, not only do we get an ROI faster, but it also gives us the money and the benefits right away, okay? And so when it comes to actually testing this stuff inside of Facebook, it's very simple. You duplicate whatever ad it is that you're wanting to optimize with your landing page, and you set it up at a budget that you're comfortable with, whether that's $50 a day or $100 a day, and you let it spend on that new landing page for a minimum of 3 to 7 days. And now, as you can see, over the last 7 days for this ad in particular that is going to our landing page, it is absolutely crushing and it's allowing us to scale further. We were only able to spend $3,400 at a 1.6x return on ad spend with this ad alone. And then as you can see, by adding the landing page, we were able to go from spending $3,400 to a total of $6,000 at a better return on ad spend as a combined total. And so this is what makes this style of testing your landing pages so much better than a simple A/B test. And then on top of that, you technically can A/B test a homepage, right? If you were sending 50% of traffic who landed on your homepage, which is your general landing page for all of your traffic sources, to a page that was just focused on, doctors and digestive issues, that's obviously not going to work too well. So by optimizing specific funnels for your ads and actually simply duplicating your ad set and split testing the same ad to a new landing page, it is by far one of my favorites, and if you ask me, the best way to test your landing pages and ultimately scale your ad account further, which at the end of the day, the whole reason we build landing pages in the first place is to do this. It's to scale our ad account further. Now, if you did hang all the way to the end, I promised that I would show you another hero section that works incredibly well. So if you stuck around this long, well, here's your bonus. And that's simply just taking whatever the top performing ad is and putting it into the hero section. This is the exact ad that we are running on Facebook, and we're now sending traffic to this page that is congruent with the ad, obviously, because it's showing the same ad, but then we have the entire page built underneath, and the exact same process is followed here. I don't need to go through it again, but we're taking the time to really understand our customer, know what we're talking about in this ad, and bringing that to life in the actual landing page. So for those of you that don't have the incredible founder story and you manage to stick along, well, here's a great example of what you can do to also maintain your audience and keep them hooked in. But the most important piece is to make sure that the page and everything else itself is really focused on the actual ad angle itself. So that's exactly how we doubled the conversion rate for one of our brands, while also adding an entire new funnel that we can continue to optimize further with more winning ads. And as you can imagine, we're now optimizing that page even further with better offers and everything else that goes into helping a company scale. But with all that said, I have no doubt that if you're able to take the main concept of what I just talked about there, about understanding your customer and then using messaging and content to sell them compared to some fancy page structure, some fancy comparison chart, that you will also be able to see improved ad performance inside of your account. Now, of course, I didn't have time today to go into our entire tech stack and the exact offer process that we went through to come up with that client specific offer. And of course, you going out and building this page with just this video might not actually be enough resources for you. So if you want more help with this and you feel like you need more information, what I would highly recommend that you do is click the first link in the description below to get access to our entire conversion rate optimization playbook and all of our processes and all of our systems. And I'll actually walk you through absolutely everything when it comes to conversion rate optimizations, from those of you who know nothing about conversion rate optimization or those of you who are experts. This applies to everyone, where I explain the different types of CRO, the key metrics, the actual tools that we use, and then of course course, diving into one of our customer feedback giveaway systems, which a lot of people have been asking for. I get into the actual research process, and what's the best part about this exact page that I just showed you, I actually have the entire process documented of how I build it, how I did the research, and then how I actually went deeper on building this entire page and strategizing the offers and essentially going through and getting this page ready to go live. Then on top of that, I show you exactly how to test all of this stuff, and I show you how to do ongoing CRO. And what's awesome about this is I'm actually doing a live progress report on this page to show you exactly what is happening, what the results look like, and everything else. And if you're excited for Q4, there's going to be an entire playbook on how to optimize your site for sales and for Q4 to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars per day like we did for our clients last Q4. So if you want to get your hands on all of that and more, make sure you click the first link in the description below, and I'll see you on the inside.